All right, I wanted to just go into this clip I saw a little bit of it, but basically you got the Haitian migrants, Haitian immigrants, Haitian foreigners, whatever you want to call them. You got the Haitians in Springfield, Ohio, but now you have these Haitians in another spot. Looks like Sylacauga City, or Sylacauga. I don't know where this place is. I think it's in Alabama, but looks like the Haitians are there too. So let's see what these folks got to say.
City council members have been heard to you, Ms. Mayor. The last meeting, oh yes, city council members were very rude to us. Well, I'm sorry you feel that way, but we do welcome you back
I'm
each
not the
week, Ms.
only, I'm
Mayor.
not the only one.
The last meeting, oh yes, city council members were very rude to us.
Well, I'm sorry you feel that way, but we do welcome you back
I'm
each
not the
week, Ms.
only, I'm
Mayor.
not the only one.
Now that lady says she's sorry she feel that way, but to me, this is just my perspective. And again, it doesn't mean that I'm right or wrong or anything like that. Just my perspective. Um, it just seemed like she was being fake when she said that, and we shouldn't have or be able to be putting up with council people or any profession. And I could be wrong. Maybe she was genuinely sorry that the lady felt disrespected. But just from my perspective, I doubt it. Now, if she is, no big deal. But talking about if she was being disrespectful, people need to, be checking people on that. And I don't mean like disrespecting other people. I mean holding people accountable because it's unprofessional, and these are the people that put you in position, and your job is to serve them. But too much we've gotten to the culture of in America. Many people are okay with corrupt politicians on both sides. And the weird thing is, these people is like they a team. They think they own these people's. They think the people for some reason they seem to think these people care about them. Weird thing because a lot of times people don't even care about or support the people that surround them. As you look at these news stories, you see time after time people letting people make the same mistakes, um, just continuing the same negative cycles, crashing out. Like, yeah. Okay, and I don't have all the answers. I'm not perfect. I got to improve myself. But I mean, some of this stuff is like, why do you know? I guess the question is, why do people continue to let people make the same mistakes, seeing it's not really benefiting anybody? You know, I guess one probability is maybe just misery loves company. Some people might be embarrassed and just like, hey, misery loves company. It's life isn't always going to be easy. It's going to be challenges, and when you make bad decisions, or when a person makes bad decisions, or if the environment isn't ideal, then those can be extra challenges. It's like more weight to bear, and when you do things like have kids out of wedlock, and you decide to be like single parents and all this other stuff, and divorce, it's just usually going to be, in a lot of cases, it's going to be a financial burden, and the financial burden is going to affect the kids and the parents, and then they go out into society and affect other people. I mean, you can be from a two-parent household, and there can still be issues. The thing is, it's just when you got more, when you do things like the single parent when you do things like letting illegal aliens in here without checking a background, it just makes things a lot harder. And the weird thing is, like, people want it is wild. It's crazy. It's wild that we got so many haters out here. It's ridiculous.
Thank you for that. All right.
I'm Charles Mackin. My address is 1035 Huckleberry Hill Lane. Um, I basically wanted to reiterate kind of what she was saying. As far as respectful, as far as speech goes, I think respectful speech is definitely not, but non-respectable speech is still protected speech. And this is a public forum, so we have every right to say what we have in our opinion, in our minds and our opinions while we're here. Stating that, I wanted to ask you guys, I hope you guys don't want to play dumb about it, but a lot of people in Sylacauga and the surrounding area are concerned about the migrant influx that we're seeing and how that's going to change our way of life. Maybe you don't live in town. Maybe you guys live in a nice neighborhood. Maybe the money is that great. I would like to know how much money you're getting from the federal government to ignore this problem or be complicit and enable it, because either way, it's happening. And it's not happening against your knowledge. It's obviously happening in your city, so you know what's going on. And you wanted to shut down the meeting last time, which means we're going to talk about it this time and hopefully not shut down the meeting because we have the freedom to speak in this country. And I wouldn't be here unless I saw that, but I found that very disrespectful and very much against our human rights here in this country. And also, with the influx of these migrants, it's against my human right to be trampled on and to have my economy and my housing prices skyrocket because of federal housing vouchers are going to raise the cost of housing in my city due to the influx of migrants. Okay, because we all know how that works. A landlord, all they have to do is just tell the feds that it's $5,000 a month for this little old one bedroom apartment or whatever, and it's really only what $800 a month. But at the same time, we're getting their money from the federal government. It's raising prices on everything else around us in the community. It's hurting us. It's raising tax values on properties. And it's not people coming in with a whole bunch of money that want to spend money in Sylacauga and boost the economy. It's people that are coming here. They're not like immigrants of the past, all right? They're immigrants that are coming in here and getting free houses, free phones, free healthcare, and not having to do a damn thing for it because it's like an invasion. And as far as I know, all I see are military-aged males. When I walk into the Walmart around here, it feels like I'm in a third world airport. And I don't see a whole lot of families. So what's going on is what I want to know. And it's not fair. It's against our rights. We did not consent to this. And the people are pissed. I'm one of them. Apparently, I'm probably the only one that's here tonight, unless anyone else wants to add to what I have to say. But it's my duty as a citizen of this country to tell you what you're doing wrong and to stop it. And to respect our borders, respect the people of this nation, respect the progeny that built this nation, the ones that built this nation. And you realize you're opening a can of worms that is going to cause a whole lot of issues for our state. I've lived in other states, I've seen it, and you're gonna add in crime. You're gonna have different groups of people at odds with each other. It's not what you might think it is. In fact, it's the opposite of what they tell you it is. It's not always that great. And when you start having hotels and apartment complexes taken over by like-minded individuals when they all get together, you know, what are you going to do? You're going to stop that? If you can't stop that, then we're going to have to stop it. You understand? So I want something to be done about this, and it's going to be done. Whether it's you guys or someone else.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right.
My name is Deborah Matchett. My address.
Now I'm just going to get into that. But one thing I kind of noticed is a few things here. I'm going to rewind this. First of all, I think he went a little bit too long, but I think he was really articulate, and I think he did a good job of having a good tone and was direct but not really rude. And he didn't yell because that's really what they want. They want people to get really emotional and yell so that they can kind of gaslight and shut people down and point your finger and say, "Look, look, look." So, um, but he has some great questions too. You know, he has some good questions. I think he's He had mentioned that they shut down the meetings before when they complained. And one thing I don't know if he, I don't know this guy, but I know it's there are a lot of confused people, and it's like, dude, you talking to these people, they don't give a damn about you more than likely, man. Just go off the actions. They put migrants in your neighborhood to compete with you, dude. Hunger Games type, Squid Games. So what are you talking about, like, dude? Man, I said this years ago that it was an invasion, whether it's done purposely or not on purpose. It is what it is. Foolish.
I'm Charles Mackin. My address is 1035 Huckleberry Hill Lane. Um, I basically wanted to reiterate kind of what she was saying. As far as respectful, as far as speech goes, I think respectful speech is definitely not, but non-respectable speech is still protected speech. And this,
That's true. But you're gonna. I was told you're gonna catch more bees with honey than vinegar, which is true. Sometimes it's a time to go off, but when you're dealing with liars, it's best to keep them engaged with civility, so that you can just continue to show who they really are. And because liars try to fake take the high road, especially when you're dealing with these types of liars, the type of liars that have that elitist mindset. A person can be of any color and have an elitist mindset. It's just that unless they white, most of them don't have the mindset to be over white people, but they cool with being under white people and accepted by white people. One thing I was noticing too, maybe if he could have shortened some stuff up, because I did see this on the news, probably like on Fox News or something on their YouTube channel. I didn't watch this, but I saw like the thumbnail, this guy, and so I guess it is picking up some traction. I think with this guy, I think they can. I think he can really be an asset to the right. I think he can be an asset to his community. Also, the thing is though, when the money gets thrown in your face, the money, uh, the money is the thing that make you negotiate. Money make people negotiate morals and a lot of stuff. So he might think he's gonna do one thing, but then when the money get involved, he might compromise, which is usually what happens a lot. Only the most moral and the most people with the most integrity, really. And the whole thing is, the most people ain't gonna really like that anyway. So it's always easier for somebody else to that's a little bit a better salesperson and promise a lot of things that you don't have to do. So that's what it seems to be like. Yeah, but shorter content. This dude might go viral. Let me see what this got. This only got 452 views, but I'm gonna have to check on like X and see what's up. Like, see if I see anything about this, because this is another thing with the Haitians. So now they got the Haitians in Ohio. They got the Haitians here, and it's almost like they're trying to manufacture a story or something. Why would you? Because these white folks don't want them Haitians over there anyway. You putting the Haitians in a bad situation. They putting the Haitians around racists and then saying the racists being racist. But the damn racists don't want them there, and the Haitians probably shouldn't be there. Probably should be housing people for free. And then right next to the people that don't look like them, that's foreigners, and right next to the people that's struggling. It's just a recipe for disaster. And And this is why I say these people are sick because they can't help it. So even if it's done on purpose or if it's not done on purpose, they still incompetent and sick. And that's what I'm saying. You cannot. Buckminster Fuller said you cannot. What did he say? Let me get this Buckminster Fuller quote because I don't know about heart. He said, "You never change things by fighting the existing reality. To change something, build a new model that makes the existing model obsolete." People never really do that for whatever reason, for whatever reasons. But yeah, yeah. It's like, why would you? That's another thing. We can't. People, it's what did it say? Why we got to get the answer. If we don't get the answer, we got to come out to our own conclusions and try to come up with several, more than one. Because hey, we might be wrong about it, but it surely doesn't really do. It doesn't really make anybody feel good when you giving these people money. And then talk about, well, we give them, they come over here to work. Okay, but they working and you giving them assistance. And then how much better are they doing than these people? Because if they ain't, if the Haitians ain't making it and they working and getting assistance, then these people probably have a gripe. But you get what you vote for. People on the right, like I said, right and left, they both incompetent. They both in on it, if you ask me. And a lot of people know that. But I was listening to this one broadcast, and a black lady said she knows, she's just not verbatim but paraphrasing. She said, "I know the Democrats ain't gonna give me nothing, but I'd rather get the crumbs from them. I'd rather get," basically something like that. It's gonna be conflict with people like that if you want more than crumbs because they always gonna try to do the bare minimum. They not gonna try to get out of the comfort zone, and they are cool with different outcomes than you cool with. So that's why you need to. We can't. People can't be like, "Oh, I just want to get what this. I want to bring every black person along. Unite, unite." All that unite talk is like, I get skeptical of that now because not everybody is a good person. Not everybody's on the same page. Not everybody wants the same outcomes, and we know this. This isn't a perfect world. It's good people, it's bad people, and then it's a spectrum. And I'd rather not unite with haters and time wasters and they just sickos. I mean, they just, to me, they just kind of mess up stuff. And I mean, I think we all know that they do. One thing though, when like it's talking about with the money, if with this guy, I don't know. He might not, nothing might come of this. But I think with how articulate he was with that, I mean, I would think he prepared something like this. If he just freestyled that, that was really nice. But and if he practiced it, that's good too. But this guy should be running for office. See, that's the thing. But and it's like, well, why not? Does he have skeletons in his closet? Everybody does. It really doesn't matter. These people's weirdos. But maybe he just don't want to do it. Maybe he don't believe he can. I don't know. Maybe he will. But the same way I say he could, I could. But my whole thing is I wouldn't get elected. I don't think, and I'm an optimist. But uh, just looking at how things are and how people are, I would kind of. I don't think people really like directness and honesty and being held accountable. I don't think anybody really likes being held accountable in the moment they're being held accountable. And people don't like to take responsibility either. Because I would kind of want people to do more and get out of their comfort zone. And so I'm pretty sure people really wouldn't want to vote for something like that. That's why we got people. See, people are cool with voting for liars and deceivers, and they know that they liars and deceivers because they say that they liars and deceivers. That's just bad business. If you can't trust a person, I don't get it. But again, with the money though, Heinrich Heine, the German poet, I saw something where he said basically, money is the god of our time, and Rothschild is its prophet. And when you look at that, to me, money is really what people respond to, not necessarily God. They or who they claim they worship. Um, I mean, just like I said, money compromise people. Money is why we kind of do things. Money is why we don't do things. Money is a real motivator for people. Money can change your life. Money can help your life. You can solve problems with money because if you don't know how to do something, you can pay somebody else to do it. And that's like part of the reason a lot of these people will get in these positions and be cool with undermining people. I've worked with people like in sales where tell you to they don't tell you to lie to people, but what they telling you to do is deceive people. So I figure, hey, if you willing to tell me and pay me to lie to people or deceive people or walk them through a sales process, then you probably would be willing to do the same thing to me. And I was told by this one guy who's a pretty good salesperson. Every good salesperson has to be a liar or good at liar. So, and politicians to me are like the highest of the high salespeople because they willing to go out there and bold face lie to the public.
This is a public forum, so we have every right to say what we have in our opinion, in our minds and our opinions while we're here. Stating that, I wanted to ask you guys, I hope you guys don't want to play dumb about it, but a lot of people in Sylacauga and the surrounding area are concerned about the migrant influx that we're seeing and how that's going to change our way of life. Maybe you don't live in town. Maybe you guys live in a nice neighborhood. Maybe the money is that great. I would like to know how much money you're getting from the federal government. I don't want to play dumb about it, but a lot of people in Sylacauga and the surrounding area are concerned about the migrant influx that we're seeing and how that's going to change our way of life. Maybe you don't live in town. Maybe you guys live in a nice neighborhood. Maybe the money is that great. I would like to know how much money you're getting from the federal government to ignore this problem or be complicit and enabling, because either way, it's happening. And it's not happening against your knowledge. It's obviously happening in your city, so you know what's going on. And you wanted to shut down the meeting last time, which means we're going to talk about it this time and hopefully not shut down the meeting because we have the freedom to speak in this country. And I wouldn't be here unless I saw that, but I found that very disrespectful and very what's going on. And you wanted to shut down the meeting last time, which means we're going to talk about it this time and hopefully not shut down the meeting because we have the freedom to speak in this country.
So they trying to, if what he said is true, they basically trying to shut him down, or not just shut him down, but shut down other people because they complaining about how their tax dollars are being spent. Now that's un-American. That's not what. See, the thing is with America, they people that well, this isn't a racist country. They can't even tell the truth on that, so they just always in a schizophrenic mindset, and so they can never solve the problem, thinking they can do it another way other than the truth, and it don't work like that. And that's another reason why they sick. My thing is, hey, step away from these folks. They upset some things. I'm looking too on X. It looks like the clip of this guy lives a TikTok picked up this clip and it had like I think it had like 1 million views, 12K retweets, 38K likes, so 596 comments. Let's see. I want to see what these comments say real quick. I'll bring this over and share this. So it's saying Wall Street Silver said War City Council is trying to hide what they are doing with the Biden slash Harris administration to flood these cities with an illegal migrant invasion. Well, why do you think, man? Or whoever this is, we don't even know if this is a man. We don't know who this is. I really don't like when people do that because it's like, are you afraid to say what the answer is? I mean, are you going to do anything about it anyway? Says they want to flip Alabama. Man. Shifu. I mean, maybe they right, man. Maybe they right. What do I know? I haven't. I mean, that person could be right. This dude, Malcolm Flex, says, "Am I following this person?" Oh, okay. They need to be getting more vocal about this. Letting the city in the deep south be overrun like this is indicative of the plans. Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming this is a white town. I just see white people. And if they can do this to white people, they pretty much just bogarted these white folks. They just demodal. Say, we put these people in here and kicking y'all out, and y'all can't do nothing about it, and we're going to shut down this thing. We're going to shut down any complaints you got. And you know what? You're going to vote for us. Man, that's a pimp move. Says they don't want to choke out small town America. Yeah, because these folks, now some of these folks won't play though. They ain't like some black people. Now some black people don't play either, but you get with them rednecks, you see what they'll crash out. They don't mind. They don't mind. Now some of them ain't. Not you do have the ones that the cowardly ones that will. They'll say they won't smoke and won't go to like the hood. They won't go to where the gangbangers are, where they can really get it in. They'll try to pick off soft targets and go to churches and things of that nature. Real sick type folk. And then they act like, well, these people probably are racist, but they do have a right. Well, it's a chance that they're racist, but they do have the right to complain about people coming into their area that are not the same culture. It's a culture in America. We don't just let any culture in here because they might have the wrong kind of mentality. And we shouldn't be having this conversation with the so-called patriots that's supposed to be on the watch and should have been looking out for this stuff. And all the quote unquote pro blacks and things of that nature and so called smart people. Like this is it's to the point like nobody can really nobody can really stay silent. Really. It just got to that point. Well, but you do get this people that's cool with the status quo. They'll make excuses and try to not really deal with They'll only try to deal with one side, talking about they lying on these people. Even though I've heard some Haitians say that they do eat cats, so hey, they might not be doing it to the extent that they saying, but it doesn't matter anyway. Even if they didn't eat any, the fact of the matter is these people are objected to their tax dollars being spent on this. Yet y'all put them in their area, and it's having a devastating effect on the economy. And just voting for some one person ain't gonna get it done. You got to do something different. But they keep doing the same thing. It's worse. They want to eradicate white people. Who is they? See, this is what they don't like to admit. Tucker Carlson asked about that. No, Cuomo asked Tucker Carlson, like, why do white people want to get rid of white people? He said that's a great question, because they don't like they don't really don't it's they really don't like, they're insecure. They really don't like themselves and other people, so they mess with people and make up excuses. Oh, we just trying to hold power. You don't hold power by destroying yourself. That's foolish. And we understand that you just insecure, or some of us do. So these are just miserable people wanting company. But it says white people along the way. No, white people is doing this. White people are doing this to white people. Whether you want to call them Jewish people, because they'll try to the right wing extremists will try to blame Jews, but it's a lot of non-Jewish white people that's along with this. Pretty much all of your politicians on the right and left. I don't think people really realize like eugenics like was like for white people. You know, it's for other people too, but it's for white people. Even though we do understand that it's a mutation, and yet they try to claim about purifying the race and things of that nature, if I remember correctly. But that's just really a insecure, crazy person trying to make an excuse on doing bad things. So the situation in Sylacauga, Alabama, has indeed sparked significant controversy. Residents have expressed strong concerns over the recent influx of Haitian migrants, which they feel has strained local resources. I mean, and it's the thing, and they just want to keep. You can't just whether these people is racist or not. They still have a gripe, a legit gripe. If in fact it is draining resources, which of course it does make sense that it will drain resources. I think that's enough. I think we've seen enough of this. Well, that's my perspective on that. Hey, I could be right. I could be wrong. It could be something in between. It is what it is. Just my perspective. No need for nobody to get offended, upset, anything like that. It's just my perspective.